What's up, guys? Jared Welch, RacingDudes.com. Saturday, Saratoga, the main event of the weekend. That is the Grade 1 Alabama Stakes, Race 9 at Saratoga. The Spa hosting, big race after big race all summer long. And we got the Alabama $600,000, mile and a quarter for the 3-year-old fillies. And you got a field of 10 here. So thought it was an interesting race. The fact that Wet Paint at 2-1 did not really scare many off, as we have a loaded field here of 10 3-year-old fillies looking to win the prestigious Alabama at Saratoga. So start with my main pick here, and really I went into this thing thinking I'm going to beat Wet Paint. I'm going to beat Wet Paint. I'm going to try to beat her here. And then ultimately I couldn't. Wet Paint is my top pick here to win the Alabama. Listen, I think this distance is just going to be perfect for her. It's going to hit her right between the eyes, and it's a horse that struggled in the Kentucky Oaks and struggled in the at Ellis Park in the Monomoy Girl, but since kind of taking a little break and getting out of there and coming here to Saratoga, she's looked more like herself, both in the mornings and in that CCA Oaks last time out. She's not a horse that's going to stand out on numbers, but especially considering the way she runs. Kind of coming from the back and picking them off late. But she is a horse that I believe is going to get better with distance. And this is a distance that she has not ran yet, obviously a mile and a quarter, but one that I think she will get better as they go. So the other thing, too, is there's a lot of speed in the race. There's a lot of speed in the race with going longer. I think it's going to set up perfect for Wet Paint. So it's a little bit of a combination of the distance. I think she's a classy enough horse, and just not necessarily sold on anyone in the other ones beating her. So I got number 2, Wet Paint, on top to win here in the Alabama. For my second choice, I'm going to go number 3, Julia Shining. This is an interesting one. I think another horse that I think the distance is going to be her biggest friend here. A horse that hasn't won since that Grade 2 back in December. Took a little bit of a break, came back, got third in the Suncoast. Then she was, she came in, she was, into the Ashland and looked like she would have, should have ran a nice race, and kind of spun her wheels late, finished third to Defining Purpose and Punch Bowl. Julia Shining is a horse that obviously they've had high hopes for, but just hasn't kind of put it all together. But I do think, you watch this horse run and say, man, she needs to go longer. She needs to go longer. Well, she's getting longer here. So if this thing kind of falls apart, which I suppose it will, and Wet Paint doesn't fire, or Julia Shining kind of makes another move up, which I suspect that she will. I like number 3, Julia Shining, here with Luis Saez back aboard for the 5th straight time. All right, I'm going to go number 1, Sacred Wish, in third. I do think she is one of the better horses in the race. It's just I think the distance is going to be the biggest issue for her. Hard to believe that she can turn the tables on Wet Paint going longer than she did last time out in that CCA Oaks, where Wet Paint just kind of wore her down late. So I think she's classy. I think she'll show up. I just don't know that she can get the job completely done here. So I look for her to hit the board here, just maybe not quite good enough to finish the job. Now listen, and then fourth, this is maybe the most interesting horse of the race, number 8, Randomized at 9-2. You don't really know what you're going to get out of this one. This horse has shown signs of being really, really good and shown signs of not. Kind of an also every other time. So maybe, fade this time out because after that last effort. But listen, broke her maiden in her second try, got a 92 buyer, just really looked good. Went to the Acorn after a little bit of a layoff, did not run well whatsoever in the Acorn. Came back and run in the Wilton earlier in this meet. And looked really, really, really good. He got a 97 buyer, which is the high buyer of the field, and did it on gate to wire. So I do think she might have a pace presence in the race. I like her quite a bit underneath because I do think she'll get caught. But I wouldn't, if you go deep in this race, or if you want to play someone other than Wet Paint, you could look for her to be the speed of speed and go gate to wire. We just don't know how far she'll want to go. But if she can get the distance, she could be dangerous on the front end. I think it is notable that Irad Ortiz, Chad Brown, obviously won. Very nice debut, or nice stakes win that last time out. Jumps ship and goes to Gambling Girl, which I'm leaving off completely on my top 4. It could be dicey. She definitely did not run well in the CCA Oaks. She bled a little bit. Maybe she rebounds here as well. The Gambling Girl, 8-1. If you can get anywhere in that 8-1 range, I think she becomes a lot more interesting in the race. So to recap, I got number 2, Wet Paint in first, number 3, Julia Shiny in second, number 1, Sacred Wish in third, and number 8, Randomize in fourth. All right. Hopefully you guys have some success in the Alabama this weekend. Make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that notification bell, and you get alerted when we go live and do all kinds of new videos. Obviously, a ton of content coming your way next week for the Travers. Until next time, I'm Jared Welch. See you guys.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track. Summer's here, our picks are heating up. We want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel right now. Click the notification bell. You don't want to miss a single one of our awesome videos. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.